Right.
We are live now. Good morning, everyone. School Journal of Education and schoolreformer.com welcomes today's speaker, Mr. Anoop Singh. Today's topic is Importance of Health and Safety and Security in Schools. The duration of the topic is around 20 to 25 minutes. During or after the talk, please post your questions in the QA box, which you will see below the video screen. Mr. Speaker, you can start your talk now, sir. Thank you.
Very good morning, and thank you, Pravina, for inviting me here for this very, very interesting and important topic. Good morning, everyone. Before I start this topic, I want to introduce myself. So my name is Anoop Singh. I'm founder of Safe School Risk Management. And before starting this company, I served in military special forces for 15 years, worked with some fantastic schools. And there I thought there is a gap in security and safety part. And then we started this company 1 year back. So about our safe school risk management. So we are India's first and only company which is taking care of end-to-end risk management of the schools. So we understand that the school face a various kind of risk like physical risk, psychological and medical risk. So we provide end-to-end solution to the schools. Now let's come to our topic, which is importance of health and safety and security in schools. So it is very much important for the schools to understand that they fulfill the safety and security requirement of the students in the school. They must ensure that they provide a holistic environment where teaching and learning can go on without any fear and distractions. But safety and security, they have multiple phases. You cannot cover this at one point. You have to do efforts on multiple fronts. Let's say that safety and security is like you need to make sure that your access control is good. You have right policies. You hire the people who understand their work well, and you keep on training them. Emergency preparedness, you should have right equipment to make sure that all these health and safety and security requirements are met accordingly. So what are kind of risks that the school in today's time faces? So importance are the school faces the physical risk. When we talk about the physical risk, it means that the safety and security risk. So we have multiple kind of threats which can increase the physical risk. In today's dynamic time, you may have seen that a lot of equipments are installed in the schools. So sometimes it increases the fire safety and other electrical safety risks. Intruder is one of the new emerging threat in our society, where the trespassing is about to happen, where the people who are not allowed to enter into the schools, they do that. They try to do that. Agitations against the schools is getting common. Either it could be related to fees or any other issues. So physical risks are emerging day by day. So we need to make sure that we have exactly right countermeasures to handle the physical risk. Health risk, when we talk about it, is everything related to the student's health. Now, most of the schools in these days, they conduct a annual medical checkup for the students, but we should ensure that we are at least covering the basic health parameters of the student so that we know that what is the exact health of our students during that time. It is not about just checking about their height and weight, should be more than that, so that we should aware that what kind of allergies the student is facing. Like I'm giving you example, if we are in Delhi, we should know that what is the number of the students who are very much allergic to this pollution and everything, and we can take additional care of those students in case if we need to. When we come to the psychological risk, everything which impact the psychological aspect of the students is the psychological risk. So examples of the threats are like bullying, harassment, child protection. Child protection is one of the biggest psychological risks in these days. If you look at the data, you can see that number of the students who are going through the child protection issues. It is very much important for the schools to understand that there is a difference between child safeguarding and the child protection. So safeguarding is something where we do all the practices, policy and procedures we implement to make sure that child should not go through those issues. But if that happens, what is the right of a child is the child protection. So child safeguarding is that we ensure that that should not happen. And child protection is if that happens, what are the rights of a child? And we have a POCSO Act and the whole government guidelines according to that. We should follow that. Cybersecurity risk is one which is really emerging, especially after this online classes and during the COVID. Now the whole school was shifted to online, and the cybersecurity risk increased a lot after that. Now a lot of students, they are using devices, they are using online devices, mobile phones, laptops, iPads. So there are the chances that all the things which were happening physically in the school with the student, like bullying and harassment, the same things are now happening online. So it is called online cyberbullying, right? Recently, I was counseling a school, and there came a case where someone made a fake profile of a girl, and then through this fake profile, multiple messages were sent to different girls, and there was a lot of psychological, impact of that on those students. You make sure that everything happens as per the school should have a very strong cyberbullying policy. Somewhere schools can say that it is happening beyond our school's parameters, so I don't know how much we are liable to that. But end of the day, these students, they are schools responsibility. When they are in the schools, when they are not feeling well, when they are not going good through the studies, and something is bothering them, it is a ethical responsibility of the schools to do something about that. If all the students who were involved into this belongs to the same school. Financial risk is something which only relates to administrator and management of the schools. So they should take care that the school is well funded and they have good budgets for that. So now I'll talk about the risk management in schools. If we talk about the risk management, there are three important pillars of risk management. One is the people, policy, and equipment. Unless until these three pillars are talking to each other, school cannot have a very good risk management response. The people we hire, they should know their job well, they should train well, and they should know how to communicate in case any problem is arises, or any threat is there, or any risk is there, how to escalate those issues to higher authorities. We should have a very strong policy and procedure so that every people should know what is their role and responsibility in the school when it comes to health and safety, security, anything related to the students risk in the schools. We should always get the equipments which fits according to the our requirement. I have seen a lot of schools, they are buying a lot of equipments, they're not using it properly, first of all. And second of all, buying equipment is easy, whether you are monitoring it rightfully or not. I'm giving you example that most of the schools, they have CCTV cameras in the schools, but how many of the schools have a dedicated control room to monitor those cameras? How many schools have a control room, and the people in the sitting room, in the control room, they know what to do if they see any incident, where they should report, what should be their first response? So people, policy, and equipment, they should be in one line. They should know the equipment should be the right fit for the schools. The policy is according to the equipments fitted, and the people should be trained according to the policy and the equipment. That's how we can manage the risk in the school. So now, what are the biggest challenges the school facing these days? If we talk about the health and safety and security, what are the challenges for the schools? First of all, the resource constraints. So health and safety and security is something which is, I can say that it is somewhere neglected for most of the schools. When you talk about health and safety and security, they said that, okay, we have guards on the gate, we have CCTV camera, and we have RFID cards. So I hope we done enough for this one. This is not enough, right? We should have a allocated budget for health and safety and security, which is very much important. We should hire the right peoples who are well qualified. We should buy the right equipments, right? Which is very much important. A well-defined policy, unless until you have a guidelines. I'm giving you example. Like if you have a access control system on the gate and you don't define that in which case you will not allow the people, right? What is the right procedure to allow the people on the gate? It should have a defined policy and procedures. And your staff training is very much important. I have seen that most of the schools, like the fire safety training, I'm giving an example. Fire safety training, when we say that how many of the staff members they have used a fire extinguisher, we'll find around 30 to 40%, max is the 60%, but not 100%. If we train only the people, when we talk about the staff, so it is not about the academic and non-academic staff. Every single person who is involved with students, whether it is security, your housekeeping, your drivers, your Didi, Bhaiya, all these peons, everyone should be trained in all these aspects. The training could be different. For teachers, training is different than the training of a driver, conductor, and the housekeeping and the security. But everyone should train about their role. What will be their role in case there is a medical emergency, in case you see someone who fall down in a ground. So, and if a peon is looking at that scene, so what is his responsibility, how he will communicate to the next level, and what he will do at that time. Training of staff is very, very important, and it should not be stretched in like there's only one training in a year. So how, the retention of knowledge is very limited because everyone is going through a lot of in their routine work. So the training should be very frequent, like quarterly training should be there. Emergency preparedness. So we should make sure that we prepare ourselves for the emergency. We should conduct drills. We should know that what could happen in our school. Like if my ABC school is situated in a Z location, so what are the threats I have? What kind of emergency for which I should be prepared? Whether it should be mostly the flood-like situation or something like a lot of agitation is happening or something like very, very nice example, if I can say about the Delhi. In Delhi, a lot of pollution issues are there. So in October to Feb, there are a lot of pollution. So whether we should conduct more of outside activity or more of indoor activities, right? In case of any such emergencies, what should be our response? What should be our first response? What should be our second response? What should be our follow-up response? So we should be prepared a whole plan for that one. Now comes to the communication part. Communication is very, very important. In case of anything happens with the school, if you will not communicate first, if you don't provide right communication, there is a gap. A wrong communication, a miscommunication will take the place. So school should immediately communicate in case of any such emergency, and you should have a multiple communication channel. You should have email, you should have SMS, you should have WhatsApp group, you should have multiple communication channel. And once you see that, you need to communicate it first before even someone asks, when you know that there is something happen. I'm giving you an example. If there's a bus broke down, right, a bus is going and the bus breakdown, immediately send a message to all the parents: bus breakdown, delay of 15 to 20 minutes may be expected. So that school, all these parents can understand that a school is very, very responsive and they understand their responsibility. A good communication channel can mitigate a lot of risk and reputational damage to the school. Community engagement, we should conduct we should engage our community whenever we buy new equipment related to health and safety and security, when we train our staff or whatever we do for the health and safety and security, engage our community. We should communicate this to our community that we are doing this to enhance health and safety and security, so that they understand that their kids are in the safe environment and the safe zone, and school is responsibly taking care of everything. When we talk about balancing safety with openness, so it means that, end of the day, when we talk about health and safety and security, we should understand that it is a school and it should remain a school. We cannot put so much barriers that the school doesn't look like a school, right? It is like we are passively monitoring everything, but we are letting students to have have their games, their teaching and learning, their all the classes and extracurricular activities, enrichment activities, but we are monitoring everything. So let the students be free without any restriction, minimum restriction as much as related to health and safety and security, but keeping a very visual eye on them. So what is the impact if we don't make sure that our health and safety and security in school is not intact? So what is the impact of this on the school? So first of all, the physical harm, someone may get injured. We have seen in this past many of the schools who haven't taken care of the physical health and safety and security very seriously and applied, as I told you, the things in previous slides, the physical harm may happen to the students. In case physical harm doesn't happen, emotional impact is very big. Like if something happens to the one student, I'm giving you example. If like there is a case of child protection in one class, the whole class will be emotionally impacted to this one. And this emotional impact will create a very big dent on the mind of the students. Disruption of learning. If there is a big emergency like fire or something like that, there is a disruption of learning. School may be closed for 1 or 2 days or something. Damage to the property. Ultimately, it happens when we are not able to take care of our health and safety and security really well. Reputational damage is something, it will take years and years and years to overcome this damage. You will always be remembered as a school where that thing happened or that bad thing with the students or something happened. Legal actions, our government is very much vigilant about, and not government only, our society is very much, you may have seen a lot of videos these days are going viral about the schools, anything and everything now, because now the people have the power of this internet, so anything can go viral very quickly, and then the government start taking legal actions against the school. So these are the damages which may happen, and these are very difficult situation when the school don't take care of their health and safety and security. So how can we overcome these challenges? What should a school actually do? The school should conduct a periodic risk assessment where they should know that what is the actual health of the school as of now in terms of health and safety, security, child protection, and everything. They should conduct periodic risk assessment. They should develop a comprehensive risk management plan. Okay, I understand that I have a lack of security on our gates. So what should I do for that? Should we deploy additional people, or should we raise the height of our perimeter wall, additional access control system, or what? Establish very clear policy and procedures. Unless until you have a written documents, people don't know, okay, who said that I cannot go out of the school without a gate pass? Unless until you have a written document. So establish clear policy and procedure, and they should be available to the people, right? It should be at the right places, like in staff rooms. If you have a shared drive, if you use that, you should have there a one copy of instruction. Everything should be with the people who is responsible to maintain those controls. If a guard is responsible to maintain control of the entry gate, he should have all these instructions written, documented, and signed with them, so that in case they have any doubt, they can go through that. Provide training and education. Always regularly provide training and education to your team. And remember that not only admin and non-teaching staff, but to the whole third-party staff if you have there, housekeeping, security, drivers, conductors, Didi Bhaiya, because sometimes they are your first responders. First, they are the ones sometimes who see the things first, because they are everywhere. You will find them on every floor, every corner of the building. So they should know that what is their first response if they see anything like that. So training is very much important. Engage your school community so that there is no gap between you and the school community. School community, parents and all these, they should know that how much you care for the student safety and security, and what all actions you are taking, and what is the impact of those actions, how you have increased and enhanced the safety and security, how good you are in providing a very good learning environment for the students. We should ensure that we foster a culture of safety for the students, where when you enter a premises, you always have a feeling whether it is a safe school or not, because you should create such an environment, a culture where everyone understands their responsibility, a culture where everyone understands that what should I do first if anything happens, and they should be aware of the whole escalation metrics as well. We should collaborate with external partners. When I say external partners, it means that a regular meeting with the police stations nearby, your local SP or ACP, DCP in case of you are in a metro, your local fire stations, your local nearest hospital. And sometimes you should conduct drills with them. Like sometimes you should conduct a bomb threat drill where you mention the same thing to the police station. Okay, we are conducting a bomb threat drill. So we will evacuate everyone, and now we want you to do your drill. What police will take action in case of a bomb threat? And the same thing we should do with the fire safety. Sometimes we should conduct, because now the schools are getting bigger and bigger, the buildings are big, and we are, most of the time, so now a lot of earthquake kind of things are happening. We should conduct a medical triage drills, where in case of mass casualty, how would we handle those kind of things that I'm talking about in case of medical emergency. Regular review and improvement is very much important. So we should document everything, whatever we are doing. If we are conducting drills, document this, trainings, document this, any event incident happens, document this, and we should review this periodically to understand that, okay, what is the current health of our state. We should conduct a regular health and safety meetings. Like I must say that it should happen at least in one meeting in a 45 days, and the people included in this health and safety committee should be the principals, the head of sports, the medical guy, the science lab, and all these people, PE team, everyone who think that they are responsible for health and safety of the schools. We should have a dedicated crisis management team. In case any crisis happens, these people should sit together and take any decisions. And we should have all those guidelines ready with you, so that you only referring those guidelines, and a little bit here and there you can take decision on the spot. So if we'll implement all these health and safety security measures in the schools, what will happen? What will be the impact? So you will be able to identify and mitigate all risk factors, right? There is a tremendous increase in levels of safety and security, and you can discipline. You can see that there is a lot of reduction of incidents, because now people follow the policy and procedures. Now they are trained to do what they need to do. So you will see a lot of incident reduction in the schools. A very, very positive climate will happen. You will see that everyone understands their responsibility, and there is a very positive climate in the schools. And because of all these things, this is something which is financial, is that you can also reduce your insurance liability rates. What this means to parents implementing health and safety and security measures in the schools. So the parents will feel increased peace of mind. I definitely remember this conversation with one of my parents when I was working with one of the international schools. She said to me that I feel my students, my kids are more safe in school than at home. And this is something really, really big thing for a school, when the parents feel that their kids are more safe in the schools. And this can only happen when you put more efforts in health and safety and security of the students in school. And by doing this, the parents will feel that we enhanced our learning environment for their child. So this is it. I'm done. Any questions,
Yes.
please?
Yes, sir. There are lots of questions, but all the points are already covered by you. I will try to read out what 99% are covered, but again, if it's not repetitive, I would like to read them. So the first question goes like this: how do you stay updated with the latest security trends and best practices? Sir, can you switch off your PPT and expand your camera screen so that the audience can view? Thank you.
Just. Okay, now I'm only.
Just
can you
close the
stop here?
PPT. Yes.
Yeah. So how can we do that? First of all, we should be engaged in such a communities. We should be part of such communities where all these information keep on updating time to time. You should meet all the people who are responsible for providing you safety and security updates. Like you should regularly visit your local police stations or your SP offices. You should meet your local fire safety officers who are responsible for that. You should talk to all the medical representative who is nearby civil hospitals or something, And there are, and these days there are a lot of agencies who provide you, keep updating you about the latest trend, what is happening in the safety and security field. But make sure that you have one dedicated person in the school, and it cannot be admin manager because he is handling a lot. So dedicate a person who is responsible for health and safety in school.
Thank you, sir. So can you provide references from other schools who you have worked with?
I worked with the one of the best school in India, the British School, New Delhi, TBS, and the Prometheus School. So because the TBS is a place where all these diplomatic staff and all these people, their kids are there. So that's why where the health and safety and security is given a lot of importance, a lot of importance. So there, from that point, I thought that we should do it for every school in India.
Okay. So how do you coordinate with local law enforcement and emergency services, sir?
We should have a very good relationship with those peoples, right? What is the layout of our school? We should conduct I must say that if there are any annual functions or something, or there is an event where we can invite them over to our schools, they should know what is actual layout of our school, what is our strength, number of the security we have. I don't know about the other states, but in Delhi, the local police station, the guys come, they have the list of all of your security personnel, number of gates, security personnel, number of CCTV cameras. They have everything with them. And they really want to visit your school to understand the layout in case of any crisis like hostage kind of situations or intruder or bomb threat or anything. So they really want, you should meet them regularly whenever possible.
Yeah, that's really good to know that like the local police wants to know what's happening in the schools too. That's very
Yeah.
good thing, sir. So how do you handle student safety during extracurricular activities and events?
Whenever so like extracurricular, I'll say in this word. So one is during the school. So when the school is over, now most of the schools, they go for enrichment activities where a lot of clubs we started on. Make sure that every single time, like during the school hours, who is health and safety in charge? If any class is conducted, everyone should be trained for all the teachers we are training. But whenever we hire these people, before starting classes with the student, extracurricular activities, we should conduct a briefing of these staff, right? If like we are planning 6 or 7 enrichment activity post school, we should conduct a briefing with these staff. Okay, this is the policy of the school, this is the crisis management policy, this is the first response procedure, this is the escalation matrix, and you should know about where is our evacuation point and what happens if there is a lockdown situation, where you go into lockdown. So briefing of these people is very, very much important, and make sure that after school also there is someone who is responsible for health and safety and security of the students. And in any case, it could be admin manager if no one is available.
Okay. So what protocols are followed for handling potential violence or disruptive behavior in the school? When teens, like so many issues will be going on, so that is the major concern, right? So what kind of protocol do you have, sir?
I completely understand. In today's time, students, they face a lot of pressure, social pressure, psychological pressure. So sometimes you feel some students are really violent. So the only way is that every school should have counselors, right? Teachers counseling is a bit different than the professional counselors. You can hire it full time, you can hire it part time, or you can hire them on event basis. But you should have school counselor who can speak with the students. Sometimes the problem is not with the students. Sometimes the problem is with something related to the home, and the student is not feeling really good about that, and he is taking out that frustration somewhere else. So we should have a very good counselors who understand the student, and all the teachers, they should be trained related to the child rights, right, and the social impacts and the well-being. We should conduct a regular session, like we conduct session most of the time with teachers only, but we should also conduct these sessions with the students. Let's say that students beyond 9th class and above, we should conduct our sessions with them. We should try to understand their mindset, the pressure they are having for the studies and the future and a lot of things. So we should understand that. Counseling is the best part.
Right. So this question is connected to the previous question itself. It's a continuation. You can say that. Do you
Okay.
conduct regular risk assessments and security audits of the school's facilities, sir?
Absolutely. The risk management, like the say school risk management, what they do, first we conduct the security and the health and safety audit. Based on the findings, we'll conduct training for the whole staff. And after training the whole staff, we conduct emergency drills with the whole school. And once we conduct the drills, during the drills evaluation, we think that, okay, we need to do more training related to fire safety, and then we again reconduct the training. So this process continue with the school. So safe school risk management don't provide the services at one time. It is a year-long association with the school, and it stays with them.
Yeah, this particular question you have already covered, but like I would like to read out to you again. What measures do you have in place to prevent unauthorized access to the school?
If you have a very good entry control on the gates, 90% of the school security issues are gone. No compromise on the entry of the gates. Define it. Everyone who is with an ID card, they can only come. If someone is coming without ID card, who is a visitor or a vendor, they should become with a government ID. They will put down their details in visitor management system, or there is a registers, and they will be escorted from point A to the point B where they are going to meet the person. We should have all these defined policies should be on the gate. A strong entry control system will make sure that there will be no intruder in the campus.
Okay. So what training and certifications do your security personnel possess, sir?
You are talking about the safe school risk management?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Our security personnel, they are trained by ASIS. ASIS is American Society of International Standards. This is the world best reputed organization for security trainings. And our safety people, they are trained NIBOSH UK. So all the people we have in security, safety, and psychologists we have. So all these are certified best qualification in the world to make sure that we provide best services to our schools.
Okay, sir. So as I mentioned that like most of the questions are already covered, the last but not the least, it's again, you have spoken about this, but I would like to ask since it's very important. What are the legal and regulatory requirements related to health, safety, and security in educational institutions?
Okay, for this, you should make sure that every state, one is the guidelines provided by the CBSE. There are the guidelines and the compliances. There is a difference. Guidelines is like you should follow these policy and procedures. And compliance is like the school must meet that. If school doesn't meet those compliances, school doesn't meet those compliances, they will be legally liable to be prosecuted. So make sure that you have the guidelines from the CBSE, like what all departments provide these guidelines. So CBSE provide guidelines and compliances. Ministry of Home Affairs provides some guidelines. Ministry of Health provided some guidelines, and PCCR, the Child Protection Committees, they provide some guidelines. So we should go through all these guidelines, and we should ensure that we fall under all these criteria and we are fulfilling all the requirements. We are not violating anything. There are a lot. The reason for starting the safe school risk management was one of the reasons is that because there are a lot of guidelines and school even don't know what to follow and what not to follow. And sometimes when they are on the wrong side, they come to know that they were not following some compliances. So make sure that you follow the right compliances. Most of these compliances are available online. You can just download these compliances, go through it, and make sure that you are following all these compliances and guidelines.
Good to know, sir. I really like your logo, think safe, act safe, and be safe. With this, like we will end this conversation, sir. School Journal of Education and schoolreformer.com. Thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions. It was a very, very informative and the need of the session. We also thank the audience for participating in the event, and they posted beautiful questions, sir. So thanks to you again. We will end the session now.
Thank you so much to you and the whole audience. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
You too, sir. Thank you.